Hey guys, now this is an interesting one. We ran into a strange creature in Oregon. This thing's not just in Oregon though. This thing went to is also in Maine, and well, this is a bit strange. It's called the Agropelter. Now, what happened was is that this lumber company, called us after the incident in the Crystal Ballroom. They knew that we could handle this one after everything else we've been through. They wanted us to investigate one of their logging camps and see if there was something paranormal going on or what, because these guys were getting branches and stuff like that thrown at them. Now, there is a thing in Maine and Oregon. It's called that, like I said, that Agropelter or whatever, Agropelter. This thing is said to bring misery to lumberjacks from Oregon and Maine. It is said that it throws branches, dead wood at people. They are also known to live in hollow out trees. They're said to have been responsible for many missing people, and some have been killed by their flying branches. Those who have survived their attacks have said that they look like apes or ape-like with a slender body and head of a gorilla or some form of ape-like face. And it looks like a starving bear. It is also known for kidnapping and feeding on people. A people eater. Oh, that's all we needed. Let me tell you about this disgusting little creature, guys. When we got out there, so far there were at least 3 other lumberjacks, guys. They were missing. 3 of them were missing, and a couple more were found impaled and half eaten. Now, we were just brought in to investigate these things. Nothing more than that. Just record what was going on, and that was it. Not to do what we did. Let me get to that in a moment. So, we set out to go to this logging camp somewhere in Oregon. I don't remember where, nor do I care to name a place. For a lumberjack company. For a company that has to deal with cutting down trees and whatnot. These guys are as tough as they come. We met with a few of them. We gathered information of where they last seen their friends and where they last seen these creatures. Now, we set up cameras in a camp not too far outside where they last seen these things. We had them, of course, pointing up at the trees because this is where these things are said to be. Now, we had weapons on us as well. We're not done. We've loaded up some guns, and just in case cameras weren't good enough. Now, what started was that we heard noises in the trees, knocking, stuff like that. Something like that of what Bigfoot would do, I suppose. But there was no Bigfoot in the area that we knew of. So, after a while, after a day or so, we started searching, not for the people, but for either what was left of them or their corpses. We kind of a couple of dead branches. Look like they've been thrown from very tops of the trees. We've found blood, but other than that, nothing much else. We went in a little bit deeper, kept cameras rolling and all that. We were just to document what was going on. We weren't to intervene. We just were there to record these creatures and to see where they were at, and the lumber company would do what they do. We were just documenting these things. We found a couple of body parts. A missing hand, an arm that was missing a hand, probably from the people that went missing. We found a ring. No, it was on the hand. It was engraved. So I took it off the hand, gave it to Sarah. She wrapped it up in a cloth. I guess they could identify the ring if it was somebody's, and we found a necklace on a tree somewhere as well. The deeper we went in, the more body parts we found. I'm pretty sure someone belonged to at least one person, another, and another. It was just gruesome. None we hadn't seen before. Well, as we looked around, we started hearing noises. These creatures, we knew they were there. They knew we were there. They wanted us out. We weren't leaving until we documented everything that we could document. So we kept looking around, and we got into a part where it was just mostly hollowed out tree here, there. And from the research that Sarah did, these things live in hollowed out trees. And at one point, me and Jim and Sarah, we felt like we were being stalked as well. Kind of figured we were going to be, because these hollowed out trees were kind of tall. Good 15 to 20 feet tall, maybe taller. And as we walked, just as we were about to reach a certain point, whoosh, a branch nearly clipped my face and slammed right behind Sarah. This thing was at least 5 to 6 feet long, and it was aimed directly at my face. Luckily, I moved out of the way just in time. Another one came flying at Sarah a little bit shortly after. I shoved her out of the way. It landed right between my legs. Jim nearly got hit twice by these creatures. These things were not leaving the comfort of their hollowed out trees. These things nearly chased us to the edge of the forest that we were in. I say nearly because, well, we came up to an old logging camp. These things didn't go nowhere near this camp. It had been there for a while, 1800s, I think. Pardon my phone. But yeah, it was like, they didn't go near it. Oil was saturated the ground, I suppose, from some of the leaking fuel, whatever, what have you. The oil tanker that was next to a truck, I guess, an old rundown truck. You could smell the gas and oil. There was also an abandoned building right next to it, so we got into the abandoned trailer. Well, building trailer, whichever it was. I don't remember. It's been a bit. We jumped into it. We locked the door. What was left, and branches were hitting the trailer left and right. It would, and luckily this trailer was way out of their reach. Branches hit short, but you could hear them vibrate. These things weren't going nowhere near this area. It was like it was a consecrated ground force, I suppose. And then what happened was one of them came down off the trees and started rushing the trailer, ran the trailer, shook the trailer. And another one came down on top of the trailer and started banging on it, and a few others dropped from the trees and started banging on the roof. This was, yeah, not fun. Luckily, Mike had this pistol, but the thing is, the pistol only had a couple of rounds in it. It only had about six rounds. He forgot to bring his other clips. And there was more than 6 of these things. These things were ugly. And Skinny Bear was right. These things looked like they had a bear coat. They were brownish in color. A gorilla-esque type of face. And they were strong. I mean, this trailer was getting tore up. They were about to come in, and all I had was my kukri, and all Sarah had was a lumberjack axe that she picked up. And we had nothing. Our cell phones were kind of dead at this point. Jim had a charger and he had to wait for his phone to charge before he could get anything. It was at 5%, and there's no way we're getting a phone call at 5%. And we weren't sure if we could even get a call out. So, me and Jim thought, okay, if we could get to that truck, and if it worked, we could get out of here. Thing was, is that Jim only had 6 rounds. So he had to save them. So, what we did was that just as one dropped in front of Sarah, I quickly punched it in the face and then came down with my kukri, and it was not a pretty sight. Cut its skull, cleaved it in two almost. As I used my foot to pull out the kukri with my hand for more force, I used my foot. Another one dropped down and Jim shot it dead in the face. It went down. As another one came in, Sarah swung the axe and cut its head clean off. We had to get out of that trailer. So we kicked open the back of the trailer door. We rushed towards the truck. Jim hopped in the truck. I got in the back. Luckily, this truck wasn't as old as the place itself when we started it up. It took a while, so Jim tossed me the pistol. And as the truck just started up, another one jumped in the back of the truck. I popped and shot it in the head. It popped. It flew off. It fell. As another one came up, I swung this kukri and caught it, and it cut the top of its skull off. Another one came, shot it between the eyes. Another one came up, got hit by a car. Got hit by the truck as it was driving, and we were driving off. We drove as fast and as close to civilization we could before the truck went dead. It had the gas was leaking from the truck. And just as we were about to reach outside the hollowed point of the forest, more came. 5 to 6 more came. We all got in the back of the truck and prepared for our last moments. We said our goodbyes to each other, and just as they were about to come, a group of guys, we started seeing them fall. These creatures just fell. A group of the guys, mercenaries were hired to get rid of the problem. And luckily we survived. I wouldn't be telling this story. Luckily we survived. I want to thank you all again for the 200 subscribers. If I had already said it in the last video, I want to thank you guys again. I'm amazed that my stories are getting out there. I hope you like this one like you did the others. It's got more excitement in it than a lot of my other ones, but I tend to do that. I tend to make some very exciting, some not so. I don't want to put too much of non-truth into it, but this is a story. None of it's real. None of it really happened. Sorry to ruin your high. But yeah, that's what I do, guys. I tell stories. I can't wait till the next one. Good luck, good night, and God bless.